Hello, everybody. So today we are going to practice dividing by decimals. And with this, we're going to be working with the standard algorithm. And so let's say we have a problem where we need to divide. We've got 7 and 5/10, and we're going to divide this by 6, and we're going to see what that equals. So just to remember, our 7.5 here, this is our total. This is meaning that we are going to split that total into groups. So when you see that division symbol, think split into. The 6 represents how many number of groups that we're going to split the 7 and 5/10 into. So the 6 is the number of groups. And then our answer, this will be how many is in each group. All right, so step 1 is just going to be to set up just like a regular long division problem. So set up your problem. So I'm going to take my total, 7 and 5/10, and my 6. Then step 2 is going to be to add my place value holders. And this is just going to help me know where things go. So if I have a digit here, I'm going to just put a little space there. Anytime that I have that I'm splitting, or not splitting, I'm sorry, anytime that I have a whole number here, like the 6 is a whole number, that means that the decimal point is just going to go straight up. And then step 3, we're going to divide as usual. So I know 6. If I have 6, I'm thinking how many groups of that are there in 7? There's 1. So I divide, I put my number on the top, and I'm going to multiply. 1 times 6 is 6. When you multiply, you put the number on the bottom. Then you subtract. You get 1. Then you bring down your next number. So now that 1 becomes a 15. And then you start all over. So 6 goes into 15 2 times. 6 times 2 is 12. I subtract and I get 3. Here, let me highlight this 3 here. You cannot have, if you notice that there's a remainder when you're done, that means you're going to do it a little bit differently than you would with whole numbers. You're not just going to put an R3. We're going to turn that remainder into a decimal. So what you have to do is you have to add a placeholder 0, because we're allowed to do that because we're not changing the value. So 7 and 5/10 is the exact same as 7 and 50 hundredths. There's nothing in the hundredths place, so therefore it has a 0 value. So now, when I subtract, now I've got another number I can bring down, the 30. So let me highlight this place value 0 here, show that we added that. And then now when I go to do my division again, now I can keep going. So 6 goes into 30 5 times. 6 times 5 is 30. And we're looking for that 0 remainder. If we did not have a 0 left over, like we would just keep adding a 0, bringing it down, and we would continue going. So step 3, divide as usual. So remember those steps: divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. And then I'm going to put a note over here. If you notice, a remainder when you're done, you add a 0. Oop, all right. So if you notice a remainder when you're done, you add a 0 to that dividend. The 7 5/10 now becomes 7 50/100, and then you just keep going. So step 4, you're going to record your answer, and you have to pay close attention to the place value. You want to make sure that that decimal point got into the correct space. So you've got step 4, you need to record, and then you need to check. So just like with regular long division, you can take your answer and you can check it with multiplication. So the 1 and 25/100, we're going to multiply that by 6. 6 times 5 is 30. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 3 more is 15. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 1 more is 7. I've got 1 scoop, 2 scoops, 1 scoop, 2 scoops. So that's 7 50/100 matches my 7 50/100. So check, I know I did it correctly. So again, just really quick, you've got your dividend, your divisor. Your dividend will go on the inside of your division bar. Your divisor will go on the outside. If you notice that that divisor is a whole number, that decimal point needs to go straight up. Add those place value holders just to show where you're going to place your numbers. Divide it like normal, like you would with long division. Your steps are divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. We had a song to help us remember. Divide, you put the number on the top. Multiply, put the number on the bottom. Subtract, bring it down. And then you're going to do it all over again. So then you just start over with dividing again. Then if you notice that you have a remainder, so like here when we had the 3, that was not okay. We had to keep going. So we added that placeholder 0, and then we noticed that 6 went into that perfectly. So then now we were done. If it didn't and we still kept having a remainder, we would just continue adding those placeholder zeros, and we would just keep going. And then we recorded and we checked our answer, and it worked out. So we are feeling confident that our answer is correct. And there you go, guys. Thanks for watching.